The Forgotten Heiress of Silicon Valley. Maggie Hayes hadn't touched a soldering iron in 37 years. The last time, she was 24, pregnant with Lily, and hunched over a breadboard in a Cupertino garage while David debugged the first Hayes OS kernel on a flickering CRT. That night, the garage smelled of rosin flux and pepperoni pizza. The future smelled like ozone and possibility. Now, at 61, the only scent in her Pacific Heights mansion was lavender diffuser oil and the ghost of David's aftershave. The diffuser sat on a marble island no one cooked on. The closet held 42 custom suits in garment bags, arranged by season. Maggie moved through the rooms like a museum docent, hands clasped behind her back, eyes skimming plaques. David J. Hayes, visionary founder of Hayes Microsystems, 1958-2020. 5 years today, the anniversary arrived with a black envelope from the board. The Hayes family is in our thoughts. No signature. They'd voted 11-0 to remove her from the room the day David's ventilator flatlined. Conflict of interest, they'd said. You haven't coded since the Clinton administration. Lily, Dr. Lillian Hayes, Ph.D. in Distributed Systems, 37, glossy black bob, perpetual AirPods, texted at 6:03 a.m. Headed to the Memorial Garden. Need alone time with Dad. Love you. Maggie stared until the screen dimmed. Alone time. Lily hadn't been alone since she learned to swipe an iPad. The Memorial Garden was a private acre inside Golden Gate Park, gifted to the city with one condition: a granite bench engraved in memory of David Hayes. He connected us. It faced a koi pond. David joked the fish were the only board members who never interrupted him. Maggie slipped into a navy trench coat, grabbed the Tesla Model S, still registered under David's name, and followed Lily's navigation dot. She told herself it was maternal instinct. Really, it was the same reflex that once chased a segmentation fault through 4 a.m. She parked on a service road behind the Japanese tea garden, slipped through a maintenance gate, and followed the gravel path that smelled of wet redwood. The bench was empty. No Lily, no flowers. A groundskeeper in a green Parks Department vest raked leaves near the pond. He recognized the widow from dedication photos and gave a small nod. Maggie pointed toward the bamboo grove. The groundskeeper's eyes flicked there, then back. He shook his head once. Slow, deliberate. Don't go there, ma'am. Not yet. He set the rake against a tree and walked over. Close enough for only her to hear, he murmured, "Your daughter's not grieving. She's unloading." Maggie's pulse skipped. Unloading what? See for yourself. Stay off the main path. He led her along a service trail hidden by ferns. 10 yards in, the grove opened to a clearing. A waist-high utility shed, city property, padlocked, stood in the center. The padlock was new, brass gleaming. Lily's white Tesla Roadster was parked nose in, trunk open. A man in a black hoodie and reflective sunglasses lifted a matte black Pelican case from the trunk. Lily stood beside him, arms folded, scanning her phone. Maggie crouched behind a manzanita bush. The groundskeeper vanished into the foliage. Lily spoke first. Batch of 12. Each chip boots a full LLM in 256 milliseconds. Investors think they're pre-production from the Austin fab. By the time anyone benchmarks, we'll be in Dubai. Hoodie guy cracked the case. Inside, nestled in gray foam, lay thumb-sized silicon dies, mirror shiny, each etched with the Hayes Microsystems logo. David's logo. Maggie's stomach folded. Those dies were supposed to be locked in a Class 100 cleanroom in Milpitas. Hoodie guy ran a gloved finger over one wafer. Trackable? Lily's old signing key. Pulled it from the estate server before Mom changed passwords. Keys don't expire if no one revokes them. Maggie tasted copper. She'd changed every password the week David died, except the legacy key vault. She thought it sentimental cruft. Hoodie guy closed the case. 2 million wired? By noon. Caymans. Exclusivity ends when Series B closes. After that, anyone with a soldering iron can clone them. They shook hands like it was a merger, not a heist. Hoodie guy slung the backpack and disappeared down a fire road. Lily locked the shed, wiped the padlock with her sleeve, and drove off. Maggie stayed crouched until the Tesla's wind faded. Then she stood, knees cracking, and walked to the shed. The padlock was a cheap master, pickable in 30 seconds. She didn't have tools. She had muscle memory. She pressed her thumb against the shackle. Cheap zinc. She twisted until the cylinder rotated a millimeter. A hairpin from her chignon, a bobby pin from her pocket, and the lock clicked open. Inside, gardening tools, a weed whacker, and a metal locker the size of a dorm fridge. Combination lock, 4 digits. She tried David's birthday, nothing. Lily's, nothing. Their wedding anniversary, the dial spun free. The locker door swung open. 6 more Pelican cases, a whiteboard with Ethereum wallet addresses, a burner phone blinking. Batch 2 ready? VC wants demo Thursday. Don't use mom's name again. Maggie photographed everything, hands trembling only once. She relocked the shed and walked back to the Tesla on borrowed legs. That night, she did not sleep. She sat at David's old roll-top desk and opened the bottom drawer. Beneath yellowed warranty cards for a Macintosh SE lay a Tupperware. Inside, a Weller soldering station, cracked leather case, a spool of 6337 rosin core solder, slightly oxidized, an ancient Fluke multimeter, 9-volt dead, a Ziploc with a single wafer. Her wafer, the 1986 prototype that started it all. She plugged in the iron, the tip glowed cherry red. She inhaled rosin, hot metal, 1986, and felt 37 years compress into a heartbeat. Phase 1. Reconnaissance. At 3:17 a.m., she SSH'd into the estate server using Lily's bragged-about legacy key. It still worked. FreeBSD 11.2, David's favorite. She cloned the key vault, the source repo, and Lily's encrypted ledger. At 4:02 a.m., she spun up a VM, installed Ghidra, and decompiled the firmware. Elegant. Too elegant. Lily had never written assembly. At 5:45 a.m., she brewed coffee strong enough to etch glass and opened LinkedIn. Hoodie guy, Nikolai Volkov, ex-TSMC. Last post, Dubai rooftop bar, yesterday. Maggie smiled without humor. Phase 2. Bait. She created Margaret Chen, angel investor, Sand Hill Road. Headshot from a 1990s alumni magazine, aged down with FaceApp. She messaged Nikolai on Signal. Heard you have early Haze AI silicon. 10 million pre-seed. Demo tomorrow? Reply in 90 seconds. 11 a.m. The battery. Bring NDAs. Phase 3. The demo. The battery. Soma Private Club, $28 avocado toast. Maggie arrived in a charcoal pantsuit, hair in a low knot, reading glasses on a chain, every inch the invisible widow turned angel. Nikolai slid a wafer across the tablecloth. 256 ms boot. On-device inference. Maggie turned the die under the light. The alignment mark in the lower right corner was rotated 0.7 degrees clockwise. David's fab drifted left. She'd shimmed it with Hershey's foil in 1987. She slipped the wafer into a portable SEM disguised in a carbon fiber briefcase. Scan, 12 seconds. Titanium silicide, wrong stoichiometry. Gate oxide, 1.2 nanometers too thin. Dopant, boron, not phosphorus. Chinese fab, not Austin. She looked up, serene. Impressive. I'll wire tonight. One condition, exclusive foundry audit. Nikolai's pupils dilated. Greed is universal. Phase 4. The sting. Slide 3. Blockchain trace. $2.1 million from Caymans to L. Hayes. Gasps. Phones out. Lily burst in at 11:47 a.m., flanked by lawyers. This is defamation. My mother is not. Maggie clicked to the final slide. Live feed from the Memorial Garden. FBI agents cataloged pelican cases. Competent enough, Maggie said quietly. Lily's face went printer paper white. Epilogue. 6 months later. Hayes Legacy Labs occupied the old Numitor building in Mountain View, 20,000 square feet of glass and brick. The lobby featured the 1986 wafer, framed, backlit. Plaque. The bug is the feature. M.H. Maggie's office overlooked a courtyard where interns soldered on picnic tables. She wore jeans, hair in a messy bun, reading glasses on her head. Desk. Fresh Weller, solder. Mug. There's no place like 127.0.0.1. Lily's trial started in October. Wire fraud, securities fraud, conspiracy. The shed was dismantled, the koi pond refilled with native trout. One evening, her assistant buzzed. Visitor, personal. Lily stood in the lobby in an orange jumpsuit, wrists cuffed, escorted by a marshal. Hair longer, eyes ringed. I sold the house, Lily said, voice cracked. Lawyers took the rest. Maggie waited. I kept Dad's bench. City lets me visit once a month. Supervised. A tear. I just wanted to be him, Mom, not the shadow. Maggie looked at the glowing wafer. You wanted the logo, not the work. Silence. I start coding classes in prison next week. Python. Instructor says I'm a natural. Maggie's throat tightened. She pressed a tiny envelope into Lily's hand. Inside, a micro SD card. Bootloader I wrote last night. No internet, just a REPL and SICP. When you're ready, send me a patch. Lily stared at the card. The marshal tapped his watch. Maggie watched them leave, then opened KiCad and began layout on a new chip, open source, auditable, manufactured in a fab she co-owned with 3 former interns. Outside, the sun set over the bay, turning glass walls molten gold. Maggie soldered a resistor, inhaled rosin, and smiled. The future smelled like ozone again.
Your thoughts are very important to us. If you have any questions about this story or are simply curious about any details that remained off camera, please write about them in the comments. Please like this video if the story touched you, and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss new captivating stories. Your feedback is the best reward for our work. We wish you all the best. Did you like this story? And which city are you listening from? Let's meet in the comments. If you like this story, you can support me by sending a super thanks so I can keep bringing more stories like this. Thank you so much for your sweet support. I'm looking forward to your comments on the story. On the screen, you can see 2 new life stories that I highly recommend. There's so much more on my channel. Don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next life story with love and respect.